Hey everyone, this is Lisa from TRW, and in this video I am going to go back to the very basics. I am going to talk about what a weed box is, how you can set it up in your software, and some practical examples of how they're helpful and what you can do with them. So if you want to learn what a weed box is and why you should use it, then go ahead and keep on watching. So I have my design here in Silhouette Studio. Now, I'm still not 100% sure what color I'm going to make Hello Fall for this pillow that I'm making. I have a couple different options, but I really don't know what I want right now. But I do know for the leaves and the wreath, I want to use the new Caesar Electric Cranberry. It is the most beautiful, rich, dark red that's perfect for fall and Christmas, and I love it so much. So I want to use that for that. So what we're going to do is at first I'm going to take my whole design, right click and flip horizontally. This is a standard procedure for preparing to cut with HTV. No big deal. So this is what we're working with. Well, right now I have this ungrouped because this is actually 3 colors and I made it into one. So I'm going to right click and group it together. Now with something like this, I have a really big open area in the middle. So yes, we're going to do a weed box for our overall design because it makes it easier, but there's a lot of space in there that I could be saving. So I'm going to go over here, use my square or rectangle tool. We're going to draw a rectangle or a square around my shape. So I just went ahead and did that, and I'm going to select both of my shape and my square. Use this button up here to align them. So I have that right in there. You can see my whole shape fits in that square. So let's go ahead and draw another one. I'm holding down shift so I get a perfect square. And let's kind of see how this looks inside. So a little bit too big. We're blocking part of our design. So let's go ahead, do it again. And then I'm going to grab all of my shapes and center them using that button up there. So you can see I need to make my square just a tiny bit smaller. So we're going to go ahead, repeat it. And so now I have that space in there. Now, if you wanted to maximize your space, you could do a circle in there. So let me go ahead and delete that. And we can add a circle inside. So I'm just holding on shift, drawing my circle. I'm not really caring where it is because I'm just going to use my center align tool to center it in there. So you can see it's pretty close. So let's go ahead, just shrink it down a little bit more. And then let's align it again. Cool. So now I'm all set to go. I just need to do a couple more adjustments to make sure I'm ready for cutting. The first thing is I'm not cutting with a cutting mat. So we're going to go over here, page panel, top of the right toolbar. I'm going to do cutting mat, none. So now you can see my work area has shifted a little bit. So we're just going to make sure my whole square fits inside of here. And check this out. My design is a little bit, oh no, I'm fine. I have a 12 by 12. My easy weed is 12 by 15. So let's go ahead and set that to 15. And so what I'm looking for is I want my whole design to be within this red border that I have in here. So you can see it's all through here. This is my safe cutting area. If my design goes outside that area, it's not going to cut because there's no room for my machine to grab onto my material. So now we're just gonna go over here. Let's go to our Ascend panel. And you'll notice that my leaves don't have a bold line around it. That's because I brought it in as an SVG file. SVG files typically have the cut lines turned off. So let's go right here to cut, and then we're all set. So I'm going to choose my EasyWeed preset that I have in here. You can program your own cut settings. I highly recommend it. I'll have a link up at the top right now, and then I'll also have a link in the description to learn how to do that. So we're all set to go. I'm going to load in my material, and then I'm going to show you how these weed boxes worked and why I used them. All right, so here's my design here. I'm just going to go ahead and pull up in this corner. This is where I drew my weed box. And it's just going to grab around my design. Now, you guys should have no trouble weeding out your design. If you are having issues, you might want to check your cut settings. You should have a nice clean weed like I'm having right here. And so you'll see like parts of my design are ripping. That's not a big deal. I mean, that's just, you know, what happens. So we're grabbing this and we're going to weed up right here. So one part of my weed box or weed circle for the middle was really close, but hey, we got it going. So let's go right here. And so here is the electric cranberry, by the way. I love it. This color is so beautiful. So it turned out really nicely. Now we have our design all here. all I have to do is just cut out this outside part, and then I'm going to take my scissors and just go ahead and cut close in here so I can save this circle. So I went ahead and cut out this middle part, but you can see the rest of my weed boxes here. I want to just kind of talk about a couple of reasons why we have weed boxes. One, it makes it a lot easier to figure out where to start your cutting or your weeding when you're doing your design. Whenever we do something like this, and especially on vinyls where it's harder to see the cut lines like glitter, a lot of times we'll take our piece of vinyl and then cut off this excess to save. But I've even done on a few occasions where I've actually cut through my design because I don't know where it is and I didn't do a weed box. So for something like this, I like to use my weed box, weed out my design, and then I have a clear indicator of how much vinyl I have left over, so I can go ahead, take my scissors, and cut it down. So it's something that's really easy to save your material, and you can get a clear picture of how much scrap you have, or you're not using a whole ton of vinyl. Now for this inside weed circle, this is a decent size. This is like a 6 to 7 inch circle that I can use for another project that I otherwise would have just wasted if I didn't make that design inside. So once you're done with this, you can go ahead and trim off these sides. I actually like to take them and just weed them all the way out. The reason being is a lot of times when we are trying to conserve our materials, you'll cut down on these, but you'll actually get a little tiny sliver of your vinyl still on your design. You won't see it until you press it onto your garment. So I like to just peel it off to eliminate that risk of having a little sliver on there. But that is my quick tip on how to set up your weed boxes or circles and why they really matter with your designing. So if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more tutorial videos with heat transfer vinyl, rhinestone, silhouette, or any type of project like that, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're uploading all the time and we're always looking for ways to help you.